Let me see. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Right, next chapter now. Yeah.
The second question.
The second, which?
76.
76. Yeah?
Yeah, the second question is x over 4.
Yeah.
So, how do we do this?
X over 4. Now, if it was 4x, what would that do?
4x?
Yeah.
It will give us 4.
No, what does the 4 on the x do?
Yeah, we take the 4 out.
Yeah, just forget about that part about taking the 4 out. My question is, what does the b equal 4 do? Change it how? What does it do? Not this, not this. No. 4. If it was 4. No. If it was 4x, it makes it 4 times smaller. Yes. It compresses. It contracts. It shrinks. If it was 4x. But if it was x over 4, yeah, it's the opposite. Then it makes it 4 times bigger. So that's what happens. So the x over 4 will multiply by 4 horizontally. That's the only difference. Yeah? But we can look at this in the tutorial on Monday if you want. Okay. Now, if you look here, this line meets twice. But this line here that I'm drawing meets only once. So this line is special because it meets only once. I'm sure some people know the name of this special line. Does anyone know? Very good. Tangent line. What's wrong? No? This line that meets twice though is called secant line. Let me write that again. So that's some vocabulary first. Okay, can I scroll down?
Yes.
So let's have a look at some examples here. So for example, if I say y equals minus 9x plus 9 and y equals minus 4x squared plus 5x plus 9, I would like to know if this line is a tangent line or if it is a secant line. So drawing is one way, but what else could we do? Very good, yeah. You could solve this and see how many answers you have. If you have one answer, it's a tangent, and if you have two answers, it's a secant. So let's see what happens if I solve this. Minus 9x plus 9 equals minus 4x squared plus 5x plus 9. So that is 4x squared minus 14x plus 0, because the 9 and the 9 cancel. equals 0. Now, you don't even have to solve this. What are we trying to know? We're trying to know how many solutions we have. So rather than solving it, what could I do? No, not necessarily. What formula? Discriminant. So remember, we can do this. Okay? So b squared minus 4ac. This will be positive. What's wrong, Mohammed? Yeah, this is positive. So if it's positive, how many answers does it have?
2.
Yeah, so this has 2 answers. Hurry up, Bertrand. So that means it is what? Tangent or secant? Secant. Tangent if it has 1 answer. Now what I'll do is I'll draw this as well to show you it. So my first one was y equals minus 9x plus 9. And my second one is y equals minus 4x squared plus 5x plus 9. Let me draw this one. And then if I draw this one. So I'm going to zoom out. That's not right. Maybe I typed it in wrong. Oh no, of course it is right, because I said it should be a secant, so it shouldn't meet twice. So you can see, here's the first place it meets, and here's the second place it meets. Okay. Okay, right, so can I go down? Or you need to write this? Abraham, you have this? Not yet? You have it? Okay, so, next example now. So really, in this first lesson, there's no new formulas, it's just definitions and examples here. Okay. So now, I have y equals 9x squared minus 3x plus 4. And my question is, what is the slope of the tangent at x equals 0? Now, before anyone asks me, yes, you can use derivative, and no, we won't use that yet. Or for Arabic speakers, yes, you can use the mushtaka. Is it? Yes. But we won't use that yet. Yes. You understand what I'm saying? You don't know this word? You speak Arabic? Yeah. Did you do this in high school? What's the other one? And to camel. Yes. No, new words. I'm teaching you Arabic. Okay. Okay, so how do we do this? Let me show you. Before I do it, let me just draw it here. So I'll just draw this quadratic. (9x squared minus 3x plus 4. Whoops. No, relax. It's okay. It's under control. Okay. Let me just zoom down a bit. Okay. So at x equals 0, can you imagine a tangent line here? So it would look kind of like this going down, wouldn't it? Yeah. So if you just look at this roughly, what do you think the slope should be? What type of number? Should it be positive or negative, firstly? Negative because it's going down. So if I look at this here, when I go 1 unit to the right, I think I go about 5 units down, if I imagine the line. So anyways, my point is I feel like it should be around about -5. Now, I can actually first get the computer to draw the tangent line. So I can do tangent when x is 0. Oh, that's not right. Let's try this again. There we go. So you can see there's my tangent line when x is 0. So can you see that when I move about 1 unit to the right, how much do I go down? About 5 units. In fact, my program can tell me the answer here. That it's -3 is the slope of the tangent line. So how can we do it using pen and paper? So what we do is first we say, if it's a tangent line, it's a line. And if it's a line, it will be like this, y equals mx plus c. And what we really want to know is the the m. We're trying to find m. We don't really care about the c. We just care about knowing what the m is, because that is the slope. Now, if you go back to my graph, what's special about x equals 0? Well, when x is 0, the line and the curve, they meet. What will be 0? So if you look here, if I go back here, when x is 0, what's y on the quadratic? 4. Should the line also be 4 when x is 0? What do you think? Yes, because they meet when x is 0. So if they meet when x is 0, then the y should be 4 for both. So this means if I put here x is 0, I get y is 4. That should be true here also. So I can find the c first, which is no good to me. I want the m, but it will help me get the m. So if I put here 4 equals m times 0 plus c, what does that make the c? 4. So at least I have y equals mx plus 4. That's something. Now, we also know that if I take this equation, and I take this equation, and I solve them, how many answers should I have? How many? I should have one answer. So that's what I'll do next. I'll pretend I'm solving, and I want to have one answer. So if I put these together, I get 9x squared minus 3x plus 4 equals mx plus 4. So I get 9x squared minus 3x minus mx plus 4 minus 4 equals 0. So I get 9x squared minus 3 plus mx plus 0 equals 0. How many answers should I have from this equation? 1. This is great. This actually will let me find the m, because if I am to have one answer, then that means the discriminant should equal 0. Do you remember? Positive is 2 answers, negative is no answers, and 0 is 1 answer. So that means b squared minus 4ac equals 0. So b squared minus 4ac should equal 0. So that means b squared should equal 0. So that means if I square root, I get 3 plus m equals 0. So what's m? Minus 3. And what did I say the c was? 4, wasn't it? So y equals minus 3x plus 4. This here is the equation of the tangent line. And m equals minus 3. What's that? The slope of the tangent line. And if you remember, that's the answer I got on my computer program.
Yeah.
This here is what I asked you for in question 3, and this here is actually what I asked you for in question 2. So basically question 2 and 3 are the same question, except I just asked you for a different thing at the end. Now let me just check something here. Now I think what I'll do, because in fact that's it for this, remember when we start a new chapter the first lesson is always quite short because we're starting it. So what I'll do is I'd like to do one question from page 76 and one question from page 78 from the previous one. So tell me which one you feel you would like to see. Well, I'll do one from each. So firstly, page 76. What do you want to see? No, yes.
Well, we did more than 0, but
My mistake. I meant to say A bigger than 0. I'll fix it. Which one is it? G. I'll fix it. Okay, so page 76. What are we saying?
G.
Any strong opinions?
G.
G for sure? P for sure? Why B and why G?
B because it's flexible.
And why are you saying G?
No one said G.
What? Why did you say G? Oh, okay. Why did you say G? You said B because of X over 4. I don't know. Maybe I was... Well, first, what about the next page? What do you want to... No. Page 78. What about 78? Look, do you just want to do the next question? I think I did. Did I do one A on both? Or did I do my own example? No, I did A.
Yeah, they did A in
78.
Yeah.
Do you just want me to do B?
Yeah, because you are tangent one.
Tangent one? Okay, we'll do a tangent one then. So I'll do 1E and then 1B. Okay. So let's have a look at 1E. 1E. E for eclipse. Right. Y equals 4 tan 1 over 3x plus pi over 3 plus 1. So, we make our table, as usual. Start and min max. Start and min max. Philip, you just poke Ugo there. He's looking like, I just want to make sure he's still alive. All good over there? Yeah. What can I say? I care. Okay, so for tangent, where does it start?
0, 2 boys.
Not really for tangent. If I go back to my graph maybe here, if you remember tangent, it doesn't really start at 0. If I graph this here, yeah, it starts at here. This is minus pi over 2, by the way, if you didn't know that, and it finishes at pi over 2, and then it repeats like this. So it's actually minus pi over 2 here to pi over 2. So that's fine. Now, what about the min and the max? What's the min? You want to see the graph? All right. No? 1? Oh no. What is it? Infinity. It's minus infinity and plus infinity. Now this question isn't quite ready yet. I have to take out my 1 over 3. So I have 1 over 3 bracket x plus pi bracket plus 1. Okay, so let's start. The a, what does that do? Well, normally what does it do? Expands. So, vertically. So it'll go from minus infinity to infinity. Now it will be, yeah, the same. Doesn't change. Okay. Now, what about the 1 over 3 here? What does that do? No, expands. Yes, 3 times. So it will be now minus 3 pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2. I should do that in blue because that's the one I'm changing. Minus 3 pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2. Okay, the pi here, what does that do? So we have right, we have divide, any other answers? Thank you, Who. It moves to the left pi units. So it will be pi to the left minus 5 over 2 pi 1 over 2 pi minus infinity. And finally the plus 1, what will that do? Plus 1? Go up 1 unit. So this here will be, and this here, infinity. So you can see with the tangent graph not much happens really. In fact, all that really happens is you change where you start and finish. So the graph now will look like this. Pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, 2 pi, etc. Minus pi over 2, minus pi, minus 3 pi over 2, minus 2 pi, etc. Oh, I need 5 pi over 2, so I better go to the next one. 5 pi over 2 and minus 5 pi over 2. So start at minus 5 pi over 2, end at pi over 2. We draw our box as normal. And for tangent, do I start top, middle or bottom in my box? No, bottom. Because if you look at the box here in the middle, you go from down to the middle to up. So I should go here, down, to the middle, and up. And that repeats, down, middle, up. In a moment, I'll use my graphing program to draw it nicely, but it should look like this. Okay, let's have a look at this nice graph. So I should have, let's see, 4 tan x over 3 plus pi over 3 plus 1. A graph. I need to zoom out a bit. No, that's the same thing. So I go down, up, and then it breaks the y-axis before it finishes one cycle. So you can see that's the same thing I have here, although maybe this should be up a little bit higher. It's close enough. I mean, that would be full marks in the exam, believe it or not. So that's my tangent graph. Okay? So now we'll go to page 78 and do 1b. Can I scroll down? Okay, so I'll try to draw it. So we have something like this. And I tell you here is 3. And here is minus 1. And I tell you that this point here is pi over 4. And I also tell you that this point here, which is important, is minus 7 pi over 4. And I also tell you that this is y equals a cos bx plus c plus d, and a is a positive.
Which question is that?
It's a nice one. B, isn't it?
B. Oh, B. B next to it.
Yes. Okay, so first thing I do is I forget about the big ABCD and I find the small ABCD. In other words, I go ahead like this. Y equals a cos bx plus c plus d. Okay, this is a cosine graph. Normally, how big is cosine from its minimum to its maximum? How many units?
4 units.
Normally, 2 units. And how big is this one? 4 units. So it should be 2 units, but instead it's 4 units. So what happened vertically?
It will increase it by twice.
Twice.
Yeah.
It expands vertically twice.
Yes.
So therefore we have our first value.
D equals to 2.
No. Which one equals 2?
A.
A equals 2. Firstly. Next. If I have 2 cosine, what is the minimum and what is the maximum for 2 cos? 2 to minus 2. But what does this graph do? It goes from minus 1 to 3. Therefore, what happened to it? Moved up. How much? 1 unit. So it should go from minus 2 to 2 if the A is 2. But it doesn't. It goes from minus 1 to 3. So it was moved up 1 unit. Therefore, what? What do I know now? D Yes, B equals 1. Okay. Now, if you look here at pi over 4, we have the maximum. And if you look here at minus 7 pi over 4, we have the maximum. So the distance from these 2 points is called a period. It's like one cycle. If you think back about cos or sine, it goes from maximum to maximum. And what does sine do? It goes from middle to middle. So cos goes from max to max, and how big is that? What is the distance for cos? Yeah, what is it? Sorry if I'm boring you. What's the distance? Yes, you said it's 2 pi. So let's work out the distance here. It finishes at pi over 4, and where does it start? At minus 7 pi over 4. If you type this on the calculator, you get 2 pi. So the distance from here to here is 2 pi. But what should it be? It should be 2 pi, yeah. It should be 2 pi, and what is it? It's 2 pi. So therefore, therefore B is what? Is what I'm asking. Nope. 1. Period is 2 pi. It should be 2 pi. Therefore, it didn't change. And so the B is 1. So we know, at least, that y equals a cos bx minus c plus 1. To find the c, we need to use a point on the graph. I think the easiest point to use is this point here. This is the point pi over 4 and 3, this point here at the top. So I can use this point to find the c. So I have 3 equals 2 cos pi over 4 minus c plus 1. So I get 2 equals 2 cos pi over 4 minus c. So I get 1 equals cos pi over 4 minus c. I put a cos inverse here. Cos inverse of 1 is 0 equals pi over 4 plus c. So therefore c equals pi over 4. So now that I know the c, I can have y equals 2 cos 1x minus pi over 4 plus 1. So I have y equals 2 cos 1x minus pi over 4 plus 1. Or in other words, I have y equals 2 cos 1x plus minus pi over 4 plus 1. Now why did I go to the trouble of doing that? Because in the question, if I go back to the start, I tell you that this is the answer. So I have to match it up perfectly. I'm telling you that the answer is y equals a cos bx plus c plus d. So now that I have it matched up, I can say the a is 2, the b is 1, the c is minus pi over 4, and the d is 1. So I have my answers. Therefore, a equals 2, b equals 1, c equals minus pi over 4, and d equals 1. Perfect.
do.
Okay, so listen carefully please. The last two lessons with the sine, cosine, tangent graphs are very important for the exam because they're pretty common in the exam. And I ask you to do all of them, and I'll check on Monday all your graphs, okay? This lesson here is not really important for the exam, so I only want you to do one question from each, okay? So I want you to do the last question from 1, 2, and 3. More important for me is the last two worksheets. I definitely want you to do all of those questions. On page 80, I want you to do the last question in 1, 2, 3. More important is all the questions on 76 and 78. So you can start them now. You should get question 1, 2, 3 finished. We have 10 minutes left. If you finish them early, you can finish your graph questions then. Okay, so you can start them now, please.